scout transport to Sector 4.
Rebel bombers have a lock on our AT-AT. DTST up and running.
Hello, welcome to my all-terrain scout transport guide, or you may know them as ATSTs. I'm StainedShoelace, and here I will show you how to properly use an ATST and lead your forces to victory. Okay, so my motivation is simple. Too many games have been lost due to bad ATST use. I got fed up and decided to enlighten those willing to listen. But how can one poor ATST lose you the game, you may ask? I'll give you an explanation before we begin the lesson. As the Empire in the Walker Assault game mode, you have 4 elements of attack. First, your infantry. This consists of your stormtroopers and heroes helping your walkers advance safely while deactivating the rebel uplinks. 2. Your air support. Your air support consists of TIE fighters and TIE interceptors. Their main objectives are to keep the overpowered X-Wing and A-Wings in check. That in turn helps your infantry advance. Third, your walkers. They are the giant spear there to deliver the killing blow at the end. Last but certainly not least, your ATST. They hold everything together and lend the most support to all other 3 elements of attack. Your infantry has a hard time pushing forward since the rebels can camp out in strategic locations while the stormtroopers put themselves at risk running out in the open towards an objective. Your air support stands little chance against the rebels' air support, even if both sides are of equal skill. The ATST is here to balance both of those out, and during your Y-Wing phase, the ATST will also provide the most defensive capabilities towards your walkers, which will help them advance, taking minimal damage. In other words, a bad ATST equals a nightmarish uphill battle for the Empire. So now that you know this, I will teach you how to properly use and pilot these things. Okay, so when a new player jumps into an ATST, one of the first things he or she might notice is how easily they can cut right through rebels. Basically a hot steak knife through butter. But charging in is completely wrong, and we see this all too often. Knowing when to charge in is essential, but knowing when to be conservative can be even more important, and in the long term is a better investment, in my opinion. Cover and concealment. Not a lot of players think that this is necessary, possible, or even considerate. But taking cover from fire as an ATST while positioning yourself correctly is a good strategy. If done correctly, you will still be able to cut down rebel soldiers and avoid taking critical damage. A good ATST pilot will know how to peek in and out of corners, terminating rebels, their heroes, DF-9 turrets, ATGARs, and turbo lasers, all while dodging incoming ion torpedoes and smart rockets. This will alleviate stress for your infantry and increasing their morale to push forward. Whenever I'm grounded and have an exceptional ATST watching my back, I know that most of my threats will be taken out before I even reach the objective. It's even more of a relief knowing that it is always there and not wasting any of its capabilities by running out there getting itself destroyed. Basically, your infantry will be more willing to advance and take objectives behind the safety and or support of your ATST. So, supporting the skies. By now, most players have noticed that the rebels dominate the air. This, in turn, cripples your ground forces. Stormtroopers are like a fish in a bucket if X-Wing and A-Wings are left to their own devices, bombing us relentlessly. It mutilates our resolve. I've even seen players rage quit over this. And that cuts down your forces even further, making it even more of an uphill battle to win. So it's time to take back the skies, guys. So the ATST comes equipped with a blaster, grenade launcher, and anti-vehicle missiles. The missiles are similar to a smart rocket and will follow enemy vehicles, or they are heat-seeking, is what I mean. Although the blasters do moderate damage to the vehicles, you don't want to fire at rebel ships unless they're low on health and you know you won't miss. That's because the blaster fire can cause them to notice you and gives away your exact position. Instead, what you want to do is use the ATST's missiles. Make sure you do this as often as possible. This will make the Rebel air support use evasive maneuvers in an attempt to dodge them, disorienting them in the process. That alone will give your TIE fighters the edge they need. In many cases, your missiles will connect and either damage or terminate the Rebel ships. Do this enough, and before you know it, the Empire will dominate the skies, further boosting your ground forces' capabilities. But do know, try not to tunnel vision the air. Remember, there are objectives on the ground, and your ATST plays a vital role in them. Multitasking is necessary if you're going to pilot them. In order to deliver the finishing blow, at least one walker needs to survive. During the Y-Wing phase, the ATSTs should provide the most protection to them. In most scenarios, this is the time to charge in on the rebels, but do not forget about the air as well. Use your missiles on the rebel ships as much as possible while cutting through rebel ground forces. If your ATSTs have done a fairly good job throughout the game, then this phase should be fairly simple. If your ATSTs is destroyed by ion torpedoes or smart rockets, that's still less damage done to your walkers. So in this clip you can see I'm just cutting through rebels, shooting down the X-Wings. I'm avoiding, the walkers are taking a lot less damage because of this. But do keep in mind that you can save your stormtrooper's life from certain death by holding down the square button to eject. Extremely important here, guys. During the final Y-Wing phase, destroy the freaking AT-47 airspeeders. If it's a perfect game, then you should have TIE fighters handling them. However, if that's not the case, it is imperative that you stop them, shoot them down, whatever you need to do. Because if not, they're just gonna get a cheap tow cable takedown or whatever. You know. So please don't forget this, guys. So in conclusion, that is all the knowledge I have for you at this time. Please remember, if you're in an ATST, you have the most responsibility out of everybody. So thank you for watching. If you found this video useful, please leave a like, comment on anything you'd like. You know, if you want to see something different. You know. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more content like this in the future.